Do not disturb me. Let's begin. James Matthews, clips, 8 video files. Which should I check out first? Let's check this one out. That's weird. Why isn't this closing? Let me try closing it to Task Manager. Thank God. Maybe it's just that file that has the issue. Or could it be a VLC problem? But I'm on the latest VLC version. Let me try another file. Again? This could as well be Verona Chaos. Chuka, just close the file once more and don't open again. But I need to see what I'm working with. What do I do? What if I check out one of the video files on my Surface Pro and see if it's the same result? Copy to flash drive. And done. Hello, Surface. Transfer out into the desktop. And play.
Yeah, I'll drop it there. There you go for it, mate.
Okay, interesting. It's playing now, but playback isn't smooth. So many frames being skipped. The file must be highly compressed. Definitely 4K. Let me check out the properties of this video. 448 MB for a 15-second clip. 3840 by 2160. That's 4K UHD. 24 frames per second. It wasn't Verona Chaos then. Something else is bugging my Dell XPS 15. Thank you, Surface. Back to where you came from. Okay. Let's open Premiere. New project. Let me call this editing James Matthews Sony A7S3 footage. Change location of project. Okay. Switching to my ultimate workspace. Nothing really ultimate about this, but just gets the work done. Time to import footage. Clips. Selecting all. Import successful. Now what do we have here? All clips are in 24 frames per second. The cinematic frame rate. Oh, there's also 160 frames per second clip. Cool. Slow-mo incoming. Let's preview one of the 24 frames per second clips. See what it's like. Skipping some frames here and there.
Yo.
Let's check out the 60 frames per second clip. Not bad. Check one more out. Okay, now that's what I'm talking about. It appears that this clip was shot at a high frame rate and then slowed down to 24 frames per second. No audio. Probably S and Q mode. Let me check out the properties. 10-bit 422. Delicious. Judging from the motion, that seemed like it was shot in 120 frames per second. 120 or 60. Nah, that was definitely 120. 60 isn't as cool as that. Now I'm going to select all and start a new sequence. I'm going to leave Premiere to handle the sequence settings for me. Considering the first clip is a 24 frames per second clip, definitely Premiere should automatically make the sequence to be a 24 frames per second sequence. Time to carry out what I call the scrub test. How easily I can scrub through the footage on my timeline. Let me see how friendly the footage is to begin with. Nah, these clips aren't friendly. My system can't handle you. Oh my god. Nah, this won't work. For reference, here are the specs of my laptop. Let me carry out the playback test, see if it's any better. Okay, not bad. This is the slow-mo clip. Let's see how much of my RAM this playback is consuming. Are you serious? 93%, 10.5 gig. That's a whole lot. Let me see the performance stats. Roughly 20% of Intel's UHD graphics and just 3% of Nvidia. Oh, that's really low.
Oh, this is the jump. There you go for it, mate.
100% of my CPU. CPU, please calm down. Oh, it's calming down now.
I'm gonna track with you. I'm gonna try and stay with you. I'm gonna track with you. I'm gonna try and stay with you.
Let's switch to half resolution and see how it performs. Still skipping too many frames, and it only get worse when I start walking. Test 5/4 resolution. It now even seems worse. I'm tired.
Oh, this is the jump. There you go for it, mate.
And the funny part is that this footage are H.264 footage, and it's still lagging like this. My laptop might as well blow up to a H.265. Left with no other option but to use proxies. Let me create a proxy folder inside the James Matthews folder. Proxies. Select folder. Ensuring the preset is the 720p preset. Okay. Waiting. Encoding. Time for a commercial break. Let me Netflix and chill for a bit. back to business. Premiere open. Activating Pugsy. Carrying out crop test once more. Look how smooth it is. Pugsy never fail. Let me take a look at some of the clips. Look at this 120 frames per second slow-mo clip right here. Buttery smooth like they say. S-Log 3. This log profile seems so delicious to color grade. Organization time. Creating a new bin for clips. Selecting all the clips. Drag into the clips bin. Creating a new bin for music. Leaving Premiere and going to my music folder on this PC. Which vibe to go for? I think the vibe I'm going for this edit is cinematic. Let's check out The Night Is Young. This works, but I don't think it's the best for this project. Let's check out the first track I have here. Okay. Oh! Sharp, sharp, drag and drop. Let me listen to it properly this time. Figure out what section of the music to use. I love this jam, I love this jam. Let me quickly check out the end. Ah, wonderful. So I can start from here, set my in points. set my out point for year. Bad guy! Let me confirm that my sequence is 4K UHD and also 24 frames per second. Check!
Oh, this is
A fast dark transition should be able to work here.
the jump.
Let me do some fast push in by using keyframes in the motion panel so that it fills up the screen nice and good. Keyframe, go forward to the end, scale it up to let's say 110. Nah, too little. Let's try 150. That's okay for now. Then probably color grade that endpoint later to make it darker and hopefully find another clip that starts off with a dark color also to continue the sequence from there.
Oh, this is
I need more vibe while I was looking at these clips. Let's do a quick color grade. Let's give these clips life. Checking out my scopes, let me see what I'm working with. Wow, so much information captured. So much room to work with. Proper exposure by James Matthews. Round of applause. Let's go to Lumetri color. Let me add the base law to convert this S-Log3 footage to Rec 709. Looking pretty good already. Before, after, amazing. And look at those nice colors. Let me play with color grading this footage more. So let me copy this clip, paste it here, and then make another copy of it. Let me see the difference between the two S-Log3 to Rec 709 LUTs. Just a small difference. Sticking with the first one, let me make some basic adjustments to this. Footage is a bit too dark for my liking and I still got room to play with in the highlights, so I'm going to take the highlights up. Before, after. Let me take my shadows a little bit down. Chuka, ensure you don't crush the shadows though. Let me reset the color grade in a duplicate clip and start color grading from scratch without any base LUT this time. Let me see how easy it is to color grade this footage with just the basics. Taking up the contrast, taking down the shadows a bit, taking up the saturation. Let me open the Lumetri scopes again to see what I'm doing. Let me ensure I'm not clipping in the highlights or in the shadows. Taking up the saturation more. Footage is getting really dark, so let's take up the highlights. Take up the exposure a bit. Take up the highlights even more. Let's see if I like the effect of adjusting the whites. Nah, going to increase the highlights more instead. Taking up the exposure a bit once again. Taking down the shadows. Taking down the blacks. Taking up the exposure. Looking pretty good already. Then let me go to curves and do a slight S curve. Tiny S like this. Take the exposure up a bit again. Let me compare the color grade in the two clips. I think I prefer the colors from the second clip, the one graded by me from scratch. I'm going to copy it, delete the original clip at the beginning, and replace it with this version. Let me copy the other color graded clip and paste it in a new sequence, just in case I need it later for reference. What's the name of that 4K sequence preset again? Red something? Nah. The easiest thing to do would be just to duplicate this already existing sequence, so that I can easily come back to this point in time of the edit if I ever want to. Paste that copied clip back here. Then let me copy the color grade in this clip and paste on the others, just so that the vibe stays. I will definitely adjust the color grade in individual clips later. Let's do some quick cutting out of unwanted footage.
Oh, this is...
Don't really like the vibe of the color grade here. Would prefer it warmer. Let me delete this old color grade and then grade this clip from scratch. First things first, increase the temperature to make the footage warmer. Increase the contrast, saturation, take down the shadows, take up the highlights. Before, after. Take down the shadows more. Take up the contrast and the highlights. Take up the temperature more. Right now, I really don't care if those red highlights are clipping. I like the footage like this. Haha, break the rules. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video and you would like to see more on how I edited the video, leave a comment in the comment section and I'll get to it. If you're new to the channel, subscribe and turn on post notifications. Much more dope content coming soon. Thank you James Matthews for giving us the privilege to get our hands dirty with the legendary Sony A7S III. Can't wait for this camera to come out. Until then, it's goodbye. Peace.